Hello everyone, welcome to the English Echo. We're very happy you're here today. Today we're going to practice English together in a simple and relaxing way. I'm Sam.
And I'm Sophia.
We're happy you're here today.
Let's learn together.
So, Sophia, I want you to imagine something with me. You are standing in a very busy coffee shop.
Okay, I can picture that. Lots of noise, people talking.
Right, exactly. And you have been studying English for months. You know all the words. You know exactly how to order your coffee and a little cake.
Yes, you practiced it in your head many times.
Exactly. But then you walk up to the counter, the person working there looks at you, and maybe they ask a question you didn't expect, like, do you want room for milk?
Oh, no, I know exactly what happens next.
Right, your brain just completely freezes.
Yeah.
The words are in your head somewhere, but they just won't come out of your mouth.
Yeah, you just kind of stand there. Maybe you say something a little messy and you feel, well, really embarrassed. It is a terrible feeling.
It is. I think we have all felt that way when learning something new. So today, we want to talk about this problem. More importantly, we are going to look at a really great way to fix it.
Yes, we are. We are looking at a very helpful idea today. It is a special way to practice called shadowing.
Shadowing. Like a shadow on the ground when the sun is shining. But what does that actually mean for learning English?
Well, a lot of people think shadowing just means repeating words, like a parrot. A teacher says a word and you say it back.
Right, like in an old classroom. The teacher says, "Hello, how are you?" And 50 students say, "Hello, how are you?" all at the same time.
Exactly, yeah. But real shadowing is much more than that. It is a way to train 3 parts of yourself all at once. You train your mind to actually think in English. You train your mouth to make the physical sounds. And you train your ears to hear how real sentences sound.
Okay, I want to stop there for a second because I think this is the most important part. When we are in that coffee shop, most of us try to translate in our heads, right?
Yes, that is very common. Many learners do that.
You hear the English word, then your brain has to translate it into your first language. Then you think of an answer in your first language, and then you have to translate it back to English before you speak.
It is too much work for your brain. Your brain is trying to do all of that in just 1 second while the coffee shop worker is looking at you.
Yeah, it takes too long. You wait, you feel nervous, and then you forget the words. So shadowing helps us build a direct bridge in our minds. We stop translating.
That is exactly right, Sam. It makes me think about learning to play music.
Oh, that is a great example, like learning to play the guitar.
Yes. When you first try to play the guitar, it is very slow. You look the paper, you find the note, and then you look at your fingers.
Yeah, you have to think about every small movement. You say to yourself, okay, put this finger here, put that finger there. It doesn't sound like music at all.
Right. You are using the slow thinking part of your brain. But what happens after you practice for a few weeks?
Well, eventually you don't look at the paper anymore. You don't even look at your hands. Your fingers just know where to go.
Yes. You build muscle memory. Your hands just remember. Shadowing does the exact same thing for your mouth, your tongue, and your lips.
Wow. So we are building muscle memory for speaking English.
Exactly. Many learners can read a word and understand it perfectly, but speaking in a real conversation is physical. When you listen to a native speaker and immediately copy their words, their rhythm, and their tone, you are training your muscles.
You are training your mouth to just move automatically without asking your brain to translate first.
That sounds amazing.
It really is. The goal is automatic reaction. You just speak.
Okay, so if we want to build this automatic speaking, how do we actually do? I think a lot of people might think they need to sit at a desk for 3 hours with a microphone.
No, not at all. Actually, the best place to practice this is just in your normal daily life. You don't need a desk.
So I don't need to lock myself in a quiet room.
Definitely not. A great way to start is by simply talking about your own day, just narrating your life as it happens, like a voiceover in a movie, where I am the star and I am describing what I'm doing, but all in English.
That is a perfect way to describe it, yes. Let's say you wake up in the morning and walk into the kitchen. Instead of thinking in your native language, you try to think in English.
Okay, so I might think to myself, it is a quiet morning. I am making a cup of tea.
Yes, exactly. Or maybe you are walking to the bus stop. You can look around and think, the sun is shining today. That man is running very fast.
Or if I am sitting on the bus, I can say in my head, the bus is crowded. I am listening to music.
Right. And doing this is so powerful. It creates a safe, quiet space in your mind, a space where your thoughts are only in English.
You are connecting the real action like holding a warm cup of tea directly to the English words. No translating.
Yes. It helps your brain understand that English is real life, not just a textbook.
Okay, but I have a question about this, Sophia. Because, to be honest, this sounds a little tiring.
I understand. What do you mean?
Well, if I try to speak English in my head all day long, from the morning until I go to sleep, my brain is going to be so tired. How do learners do this without getting exhausted?
That is a very good question, Sam, and it is so important to remember. You should be gentle with yourself. You do not have to do this all day.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be a marathon.
No, definitely not. If you try to do it all day, you will feel stressed and you will stop having fun. The secret is to make very small habits.
Just small moments during the day.
Exactly. Just try it for 5 minutes while you wait for your tea to get warm, or 3 minutes while you wait for the bus.
So it should feel easy, no pressure.
Right. When you practice without stress, your brain actually learns much faster. It should feel peaceful.
I like that a lot. So we start small, we make our tea, we look at the weather, and we describe it.
Yeah.
But what happens when we get really good at saying, I am making tea, and the sky is blue?
That is a great point. You don't want to stay at that beginner level forever.
Right, we don't want to get stuck. How do we take the next step and improve?
Well, once you are comfortable describing simple things, you can start using better, more advanced words. You upgrade your vocabulary.
Okay, can you give a simple example?
Sure. Instead of saying, I want to watch people, you can use a stronger word. You can think, I want to observe people.
Ah, I see. Or instead of saying, I want to add new words, I could say, I want to learn new vocabulary.
Yes. You take the same normal situation, but you choose better words. But there is another step that is even more important.
Oh, what is that?
You need to start talking about your feelings. Emotional vocabulary is so important for learning a language.
Emotional vocabulary. So talking about how I feel inside.
Yes. Think about it, Sam. Adults have very complex feelings, but when they speak a new language, they often sound like little children.
It's true. I can only say I am happy or I am sad. But in my real life, my feelings are much more mixed than that.
Exactly. Maybe you want to say, I am very tired today, but I am proud of the hard work I did.
Wow, yeah. When I say that, the language suddenly feels a lot more real. It feels like it belongs to me.
Yes, it becomes sincere. You are proving to your brain that English can hold your real personality. It isn't just for ordering coffee anymore.
And I guess if I talk about my learning too, like, I'm frustrated with my grammar today, but I will keep trying.
That is wonderful, yes. When you talk to yourself kindly like that in English, you build confidence. You are becoming a more mature speaker.
Okay, so we have talked about speaking to ourselves, we are narrating our lives, we are using feeling words. But speaking is only half of the conversation.
That is true. You also have to listen.
Right. So how does this shadowing idea change the way we listen to other people?
Well, most learners make a very big mistake when they listen. They try to listen for every single individual word.
Oh yeah, that takes us right back to the coffee shop panic.
Exactly.
You are standing there waiting to hear the word sugar or receipt. And if the person speaks a little softly or they use a different word, you panic.
Yes, your brain gets completely stuck. You spend all your energy trying to understand that one missed word, and you stop listening to the rest of the sentence.
You miss everything else they said. So what should we do instead?
Shadowing teaches us to listen to the whole meaning and to the music of the sentence.
The music of the sentence? What does that mean?
It means noticing how the language flows. Where does the speaker pause? Which words do they say loudly? How do they connect their words together?
Oh, right. Because native speakers don't say perfect separate words. They blend things together. Like instead of saying, I am going to, they might just say, I am gonna.
Yes, they speak in groups of sound. When you practice shadowing, you learn to hear the rhythm. And the amazing part is, if you follow the rhythm, you can often understand what someone means, even if you miss a word.
So the tone of their voice tells you the meaning.
Exactly. You are listening to how real people sound, not a textbook robot.
That makes a lot of sense. But, when we talk about listening to real people, it brings up another huge problem. I think every learner worries about this.
What is that?
Speed. Speaking fast. People think that if you speak English well, you have to speak as fast as possible.
Oh, I am so glad you mentioned that. That is a very common myth, and it is simply not true.
Right. Learners hear a native speaker talking quickly and they think, I must do that too.
But what happens when a beginner tries to speak very fast?
They trip over their words. It sounds messy, the grammar is wrong, and honestly, nobody can understand them.
Exactly. It is like trying to run before you know how to walk. It just ends up being confusing. Speed is not the goal.
So what is the goal then?
Being clear, being confident, and connecting your thoughts naturally. Being able to speak fast only happens after a long time of being clear and confident.
So it is perfectly okay to pause.
Yes. Taking a pause is a great thing. It shows you are thinking. Even native speakers pause, say, and take deep breaths.
And it's so true. Perfect fast speech isn't human. Real humans take their time to share their thoughts.
Exactly, Sam. And when you stop worrying about being fast, you feel less anxious. You give your brain the time it needs to find those good emotional words we talked about earlier.
The goal is communication, not perfection. I love that.
Me too.
So let's think about the big picture here, Sophia. If a learner does all of this, if they gently talk to themselves every day, if they talk about their feelings, and if they stop trying to speak so fast, where does it lead?
It leads to a really beautiful change in how you think. The language becomes what we can call a quiet companion.
A quiet companion. A companion is like a friend who is always with you. That is a really nice way to say it.
It is, isn't it? Because normally, how do people feel about learning a new language?
Usually, they feel like it's a giant mountain they have to climb or scary tests they have to pass. It feels like hard work.
Right, it feels stressful. You are always waiting to make a mistake.
Yes, always feeling like you are not good enough yet.
But when you invite English into your daily life, when you just describe your morning tea or talk about the weather, it stops being a scary test.
You stop just studying a subject and you start living with the language.
Exactly. You just walk through your day together.
It is like the difference between being a stressed tourist with a map and actually living in a city and just walking to the store comfortably.
That is a wonderful example, Sam. And when you feel like you live with the language, you stop being afraid of mistakes.
Because mistakes aren't bad grades anymore.
Right. Mistakes are just a normal part of living. You smile at them and keep going. You start to feel happy about the small wins.
Like when you realize you just watched a whole YouTube video, you didn't have to translate it in your head.
Yes. Or when you are cooking dinner and you naturally use a great new word without thinking.
Those small steps are where real fluency comes from. Not from memorizing 100 words in one day, but from just being consistent.
Consistency is much more important than studying for hours and hours. Just show up gently every day.
This really changes how we think about learning. So let's just quickly review what we talked about today. First, shadowing is not just repeating like a parrot. It is a way to connect your brain, your mouth, and your ears.
Right. Stops you from translating in your head.
And to practice, we don't need a desk. We just need to narrate our daily lives. Walking the dog, making coffee, but keeping it short and gentle.
And then we make it better by adding words about our feeling. We bring our real, true selves into English.
We also learned that we shouldn't worry about speaking fast. Clear and thoughtful is always better, and pausing is normal.
Which all helps English become your quiet, daily friend.
It really is a fantastic way to learn. And before we finish today, I want to leave you with one final thought. We have spent this whole time talking about shadowing to learn English. But think about your own native language for a minute.
That is an interesting idea.
Think about the voice inside your head when you speak your first language. Do you speak nicely to yourself? Do you talk about your feelings clearly?
Many people are not very gentle with themselves.
Exactly. What if we use this same technique for our personal lives? Imagine shadowing a great calm speaker to help you be more confident at work. Or just taking a gentle, quiet moment to narrate your own feelings in your own language. If this habit can turn a scary foreign language into a quiet companion, imagine how it could help you understand yourself better every single day. Just something to think about this week. Thank you for listening to The English Echo.
Keep practicing English every day.
Small steps can make a big difference.
See you in the next episode.